Welcome back, Team Tabletop. In a couple of hours, the Secret Lair Super Drop of Summer 2021 is going to be released for pre-order. And for today, we're going to be looking at all of the Secret Lairs in this particular bundle to see which one is most value for money and which one's the best one. I've created some charts using the R programming language for datasets, and we made a couple of nice looking charts, so let's get right into it. So we're going to go for the non-foils. The non-foil one is called the Totally Refreshing Bundle. It costs €229.99, but if you buy all the non-foils together, it will cost you €279.92, giving you a savings of €49.93, and you went all in and bought the refreshing bundle for the non-foils. So that's a saving around €50. The next one you're going to get is the foils. The foils is called the All Natural Bundle. It costs €299.99. But if you bought all the foils by themselves now, they'll cost €359.92, giving you a savings of €59.93 if you were to buy all the foils comparison. Now, there is one more giant bundle that I will have to say now. It's called the All For You bundle. The All For You bundle is €499.99, half a grand. But if you bought the two bundles together, the non-foils and the foils, it costs €529.98, giving you a savings of €29.99. So if you have a friend who wants to foil and you want the non-foil, you guys can just come together and save another €30. However, there is a thing, which I'm pretty sure I should be remiss if I didn't say it, is that the Wizards of the Coast are actually giving you one set booster, I believe, for every Secret Lair pre-order that you do. So you're going to share that with your friends there. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that. So which ones are going to be worth it to buy? We can't really say much without knowing the sum of its parts, right? So this is why we're going to our next place, or our next chapter, which I like to call the, let's take a look at all the pricing inside all of the actual Secret Lairs. Now, the first thing you guys are going to notice is the blue and the red charts. They're together there. So basically the red is the pricing, the price of the Secret Lairs themselves. The foil ones are always €44.99, while the non-foils are €34.99. The blue represents how much these cards individually inside that particular bundle is worth if you were to buy them separately. Now, the one thing you guys will notice is that there will only be two different versions of the red ones. As you can see, the first 5 entries are all foil. The top entries are foils, and then the one after that, the sixth one, is the non-foil one. So that kind of gives you like a little bit of a spoiler how to read this chart. However, we're going to be going from bottom to top to see if you guys can guess which one is the most expensive, which is the sum of all its parts. So we're going to go through them one at a time, guys. The first one we're going to be unveiling is pitiful. Very pitiful, but I don't really blame it for being pitiful. It's called the Dan Fraser's Back, the Enemy Signets non-foil. Let's move a little bit into it. Now, taking a closer look at this, we have all 5 of them here. So the Izzet Signet is 44 cents. The Gagori Signet is 35 cents. The Orza Signet is 30 cents. The Boros Signet is 30 cents, and the Simic Signet is 25 cents. These prices are taken from Card Market, all inside euros. And I have to say, it's the trending price, the current ongoing price, not the lowest entry price. Buy them all together, they are euro and 64 cents and 34 out of €34.99 price tag. The thing about the Signets is that if you have a special looking Signet, I'm pretty sure it will go up in value in the future. However, there is no precedent to base this on. I'm not too sure if the Signets themselves are going to be very meta relevant in the future, because there is a much better Signet here. The reason why I don't think it's going to be a meta relevant thing in the future is because it's getting highly outclassed. The Arcane Signet is something that came out recently. So you pay 2 to play a Signet, then you can tap it for 1 straight away. With these other Signets though, you pay 2 and you have to pay an additional 1 in order to get the net gain of 1. So if you play it on turn 2, you won't be able to do much else, so no 1 drops for you. And the reason why I think that the Signets are good is because it will depend on the deck. Now, in my opinion, the ones that have bluey white colors who are no access to green, those Signets will be worth a lot more money. Because if you play like artifacts to ramp up and you don't have access to green ramp spells, then that's probably the only way that you'll be able to like ramp up through artifacts and whatnot. So for the player, if you play decks that don't inherently have green, I think it's probably worth it just to buy it singly on Card Market if you don't care about the actual artwork. If you care about the artwork, then by all means, just buy these ones. These have the highest thing to fluctuate. I'm not too sure how it's going to be like in the future, but I will say that Signets do have a place in some decks. They aren't completely outclassed. And if they don't print it, well, And even if they do print it again, it's not like your Signet's going to go down in price. You get the special art version. It's the same thing with the lands. They print out more lands inside different sets, and it's still going to be the same price. Jack crap, unless it's special. Moving on, we have the Danfri's back Allied Signets non-foil. Now, the Allied Signets, let's take a look at them here. The Allied Signets are worth a little bit more non-foil. So the Dimir Signet is worth €1.26. The Rakdos Signet is worth 60 cents. Azorus is 50. Selesnya is 40, and Gruul Signet is 30 cents. As you guys can see here, like I told you before, the greenish colors are worth a little bit less, and the blue, red, and whitish colors are worth a little bit more here. So if you guys are going to get one or the other, or maybe both, I suggest getting the Allied Signet simply because it has more usability in the future, in my opinion. But yeah, that's only if you have to choose one or two. My opinion is still the same on the whole thing that we've talked about with the enemy signets. So we're going to move on from there to see what the next one is going to be. The next one actually is not going to be the foil version of these things. It's going to be the Mother's Day 2021 non-foil version. And the reason for that is because of the way my charts are organized. I'll show you in a second. So for the Mother of Ruins, it's a little bit weird. Since they have four of the same, you can't really represent it because all four of the cards are mechanically the same card, right? So each card I'm pricing at €5.12, which was the lowest price I could find on the card market. Well, not the lowest price. It was the trending price, I believe. So combined together, you make €20.48 out of €34.99. So you're losing around €15 here, guys. Not great, not terrible, but one thing to notice about these things that I have to tell you now is that if you buy things off card market, you're going to be paying for shipping. Shipping can go anywhere from €2 to €15, so this is kind of worth it depending on it. So if you guys are in need of a playset of this, I think it does make sense in order to buy one of these. You replace something like Modern or other formats where this thing is legal. In terms of Commander, you only need one. So maybe if you guys have some friends and y'all be like, you know what, we only need one card of the Mother of Ruins, so we can each give each other one and then split the costs. That's how I feel about this one in particular. Feel like I'm too much of a fan of this. I do like the borderless artwork though, and each one of them are different. It's not extended artwork like the other packs that they do. I think some of them are pretty decent. I like some of the artistic takes on these. I'm not too sure if I myself will need all four, but I'm going to be buying them all anyway because I'm getting the all-in bundle, and that's only a personal preference of mine later on. But we're going to move on to the next one, guys. Let's take a look. So the next one is the Danfri's back Enemy Signets foil, along with the Danfri's back Allied Signets foil. So let's take a look at those. Enemy Signet foils. Okay, so €3 for the Orzo, €3 for the Izzet, 2 for Simic, 2 for Boros, and 1 for Galgori, bringing it up to €11 out of a €45 purchase, or €44.99. Same opinion as always, guys. Not really a big fan of these unless you have specific decks that you're playing. We're going to move on to the Allied Signets. Allied Signets are worth a little bit more, actually. €4 for Dimir. Azorus is 3. €2.70 for the Rakdos, €1.10 for the Gruul Signet, and the Selesnya is worth 1, bringing us up to €11.80 out of a €44.99 initial payback. It's up to yourselves if you guys want to buy the Signets, if it's useful in some of your decks, but in terms of collectabilities and in terms of increasing value over time, I think these have the highest rate of fluctuation. So moving on the food chain, what do we have next, guys, after the Allied Signets? Oh, the next one is the Genbartlett Nonfoil special guest. Now, let's take a look at that. So immediately, you guys will notice something gigantic about this. It's the fact that the Bloom Tender is worth €22. Jesus Christ, for a non-foil version. That's so expensive. And then everything else is worth lickety crap. So the Mesa Enchantress is worth 30 cents. The Borderless Archaeomancer is worth 18 cents, and the Meteor Golem is worth 10 cents, bringing us up to €22.58 of a €34.99 investment. So buying them singly would be a lot cheaper. You guys are in this for the mechanical needs, as I said. So the Bloom Tender is worth a lot of money because it's one of the best kind of mana dorks around. It costs 1 in the green, and if you tap it, you get mana equivalent to the amount of color among permanents that you have. So if you only have him on the battlefield, he taps for 1. If you have multiple colors, all 5, it taps for 5. And I shouldn't say him because this version in particular is a woman. Elf Druid, to be more precise. It's definitely worth a lot more than the Signets if you take the individual pricing, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, guys. They will not fluctuate as high as you might think they would. I think the Bloom Tender is going to be worth quite a bit on its own later on. it's quite funny to see that at 22 euros, it's just the one card inside the Genbartlett thing. And the other three, I'm not too sure they're going to be worth a lot of money, or they're going to be worth money at all. As I can see it be worth a few euros, but that's about it. Meteor Golem, somewhat decent inside Blink decks, kind of expensive to play. Borderless Archaeomancer, pretty decent in Blink decks yet again. And the Borderless Mesa Enchantress, pretty good if you play enchantment decks. But there's a lot of supply of those three, because they've been reprinted. Bloom Tender has only come out a couple of times now. The last time I could remember getting a proper printing was inside was it the list, or was inside Mystery Boosters as well, which is where we got ours. But yeah, moving on to our next little bit of trivia here. What comes after Gen? It is the Saturday morning D&D Nonfoil. Now, what's inside the Nonfoil that costs so much money, guys? Let's have a look. So, another case of the top card being worth a freaking ton of money compared to the rest of its parts, although you do get more value spread out throughout this. The first thing you're going to get is the Primal Vigor, worth 19 euros, Whirl of Invention, Hero's Downfall, Impact's Tremors, Unbreakable Formation, and a Commander Sphere. So you guys were playing Magic the Gathering recently, you would know that Unbreakable Formation is something that was recently printed inside near the Ravnica block, I believe. Commander Sphere got printed so many times inside the Commander Legends. And Primal Vigor. Why is Primal Vigor worth so much money? So the thing is, Primal Vigor was only printed twice, I believe. And that's why it's cost this much money. It cost 19 euros because it's the only one of its kind that was inside a Commander product both times, I believe. And I think it's actually a pretty decent card. Like, if you take a look at it, it is a doubling effect, which is if one or more tokens will be created, twice that many are created. If one or more counters will be put on a creature, twice that many counters are put on that creature instead. Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys, doubling effects is always going to be expensive, it's always going to be meta relevant, and the fact that this one has not had a printing in so long is kind of nice. It reminds me of the new commander that you can get inside the Strixhaven block. So things like, what is it? Sputtering Tide, things that create clues, those also get doubled, not just the creature tokens now. So just remember that. One or more counters kind of reminds me of the new Vorinclex that's in there. The half of the effect there. So should you buy this for me personally, I believe I would buy it. I'm definitely getting one of the non-foil version anyway, because I love doubling effects. This is one of the easier ways to get it. And it's a solid artwork that's probably not going to be done again. Whereas the other Primal Vigor can be reprinted inside its natural artwork, this one won't. That goes for everything like the Secret Lair. So after the Saturday morning D&D, we have the foil D&D. Now, the thing about the foil is that Impact Tremors is worth €5.60, €4.60 for the World of Invention, Hero's Downfall for €4.50, 75 cents for Unbreakable Formation, and 20 cents for a foil Commander Sphere. And 0 for Primal Vigor. Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because Primal Vigor has never gotten a foil printing. That's right. If you buy the Saturday morning D&D foil, you'll own the only available version of Primal Vigor currently on the market or in the game. And maybe even forever, unless they ever decide to reprint it again. I'm not too sure if they would. I think they should, though. It definitely has attention now. And if they're inside the Secret Lair, chances are the next step is putting him inside an actual product. But we'll see, guys. We'll see. Let's move on to our next one. So after the Saturday morning D&D, we have the Fiona Staples Nonfoil. So the Fiona Staples come with 5 different cards, all borderless. As you guys can see here, the Dryad is worth €9. The Soul Squirrel Mage is worth €7.50. The Squell Quiller is worth €6.40. The borderless Metallic Mimic is worth €6.40. And 50 cents for the Sakurai Tribe Elder, bringing us up to €30 of an investment of €34.99. So, let's take a look, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly why some of these cards are worth the pricing that they are, right? I like how Dryad is just like not giving two craps about with his hands crossed like that, but the reason why Dryad is so expensive is that it's a trade drop, 2 and a green. You can play an additional land card, so it's half an Azusa. However, the other half is that it corrects your mana. So lands you control are every basic type in addition to their other types. So isn't that something great, guys? There are some cards where if you have certain land types, it'll increase the power of your creature, which makes the Dryad really good. For me in particular, whenever I'm playing the Dryad, it's inside my Golos deck, because in Golos, I kind of need color correction. It's kind of hard to do without the fetch lands before that. But now that I have all the fetch lands, everyone can go yip themselves because I'm just going to win. Why is the Sakura Tribe Elder so inexpensive? Because guys, they print that card so freaking much that it's worth next to nothing. You get them inside Commander products, you get them inside, like, Commander Legends had them, Commander decks have them, just so many things have the Sakura Tri-Belter that it's worth jack crap now. Metallic Mimic is a card that I'm kind of looking forward to, as one of the reasons why I would love to get this one myself as well. But moving on, what do you guys think is the next expensive one after this? We're reaching the halfway point here. So, the next expensive one is the Mark Poole non-foil card. So let's take a look at the Mark Poole cards. So our first entry that actually pays for itself is the Mark Poole Artist Series. It costs 26 euros for an alternate art Wasteland, 5 euros and 40 cents for a Birds of Paradise, 2 euros for a Mine, 2 euros for a Balance, 31 cents for the Brainstorm, and 1 cent and 10 cents for the Counter Spell. Now, these prices, I tell you guys, are the cheapest things you can find on Card Market that are currently trending. And bring it all together, it brings you to a price point of 35 euros and 81 cents out of a purchasing power of 34 euros and 99 cents. So, I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat why these things are worth so much money. Howling Mine. Haven't seen that in ages. Like, so long. First reprint in a long time. Same goes for Balance, which is why these things are worth 2 euros. Birds of Paradise gets reprinted somewhat frequently. Not too frequently, though. It costs 1, and it taps for any color mana, which is why it costs 5 euros and 40 cents. It's really strong. Wasteland. 26 euros. Wow. Why? Because it's been a while since we've seen one of these now. I believe the last one that we saw was inside the Expeditions, and even those ones were really expensive. So basically, the Wasteland is something that you can kind of recur a little bit if you have a Crucible of Fate and you're a little bit ahead of the game. So you can tap the Wasteland as soon as possible, actually. Yeah, there's no cost to this. Okay, so you tap the Wasteland, you destroy target non-basic land, destroys one of your opponent's non-basic lands, then you play it again with a Crucible of Fate or something, and then you can do it again. So you can go twice in one turn, potentially, depending if you have ways to like play things from your graveyard, which is why it's so good. It's kind of good late game, because you can destroy all the opponent's lands if they run any basics, which I guarantee you most of them will, or it's good inside the early game because you can still tap before the 1 colorless mana, which isn't too bad for the utility that offers late game or potentially crippling your opponent mana-wise. Brainstorm, same story as the Sakurai Tri-Belter, printed up the ass, so many versions of this card. But as I said, special versions of cards are worth a lot more money. This one in particular is pretty decent. So should you get this particular bundle? I think you should. Like, the numbers don't lie, guys. Like, even when I looked at the cheapest versions available for this, we still made it past the 35 euro mark, which is pretty good. I'll do the recap review later on, so let's just move on to the next one, shall we? The next one is something that I don't think you guys kind of expected to be on this list and would be outstripped by something, but the numbers do not lie. However, it is the most expensive non-foil. Of course, we are talking about the Phyrexian Praetor's Complete Edition non-foil. Now, let's take a look at them all, eh? Unsurprisingly, everyone, Vorinclex is the most expensive one, being 17 euros. He did got recently released inside the list, which I was happy to get one of, but now I'm very sad about because I could have just bought this stupid secret lair. If you guys are in doubt, this is definitely the one to get. The Jin Gictios Core Augur is 15 euros. Ella Schnorn is 14 euros and 10 cents. The Shieldred, recently reprinted inside Jumpstart, is 10 euros and 80 cents. And the Phyrexian Nebraska the Hidden is 6 euros, bringing us up to 62 euros and 90 cents of an initial investment of 35 euros. Already, you're making 30 euros back. And these have the special Phyrexian logos on them. It's or the language. It's great. It's amazing. There's no reason why you shouldn't get this. Plus, this is the only one that gives you an arena code to get the aesthetics. And guys, the aesthetic codes are actually worth a lot of money. Some of them are, actually. The ones with the Brutality of Land, which give you the sleeves, got me, I think it's currently going around 10 euros on Card Market for the code itself. Don't underestimate the power of the arena codes, because if it's 60 euros and 90 cents, the lowest the arena code would be like 5 euros to 10 euros. And I think that's just lowballing it now. So it's actually worth 67 euros or 62 or 72 euros. Guys, get this. You play Magic the Gathering? No? Get it. You play Magic the Gathering? You do? Get it. It's actually not that difficult. It's one of the ones inside a long time that just kind of screamed out, buy me, buy me, buy me. And Wizards of the Coast priced it very fairly in this one, actually. You guys saw the other ones and made it this far. Like, this one is by far so good, guys. So good. Why are these expensive? I'll give you guys a little run course. You guys don't know what these cards are. The Phyrexians are extremely powerful monsters, or Predators, or Phyrexians that have such powerful abilities that they destroy. They destroy. And whatever you get them on the field, like, let me just describe to you the first one. The Voice of Hunger. Vorinclex. So you play it for 8 mana. Very expensive. However, if your opponents tap mana, those lands do not untap during the next untap phase. So they're kind of screwed if they play anything. And then you double the amount of mana that you actually make. So like you tap a mana, you get another mana of that particular one if it's a land, of course. So you're ramping and you're slowing down your opponent. It's one of the quickest ways to finish them off if you're able to make sure that they tap during your turn or force them. So if they have some mana during their turn, they play a really strong spell, they'll get rid of your Vorinclex Fire, but they're screwed because the next turn, their land's still on tap, so you basically got 2 free turns to kill them. That's why it's so good. Jin's Grixis is pretty decent because it lets you draw 7 cards, and then it lowers the hand size of your opponents down to 1, I believe. So good. Elish Norn, it's a board wipe. Fuck that. It literally is a board wipe. So it gives you 2/2 and then -2/2 all other creatures that aren't yours. So good. Sheoldred forces people to sacrifice their creatures, lets you reanimate one of yours. And I can't remember what the Empress does off the top of my head, but it's perfectly fine. I will say that these aren't these aren't new artworks. The only thing different about them is the fact that they have the Phyrexian kind of language on them. So in terms of like creativity, not great. In terms of usability and the fact that how cool they look, amazing. Well, let's move on to the next one after this, because we're going into foil territory, and it's very surprising which ones are at the top. So, what do you guys think is at the top? All right. So, the first one we're going to get is the Fiona Staples foil. Why is the Fiona Staples foil so expensive? Let me tell you guys now. It's because the Spell Quiller is 20 euros and 40 cents in a foil version. It's the only... This is the cheapest trending foil version of the Spell Quiller currently. The Soul Scar Mage is 17 euros, 10 euros for the borderless, for the Gyriad foil, 9 euros and 40 cents for the Metallic Mimic, and 7 euros for Sakurai Tribeholder. Now, one thing about foils is you guys should understand is that over time they do increase in price. So like Spell Quiller is something that's only been printed like a few times now, and only a couple of times in foil, which is why the pricing of this one is so darn expensive. Because if you're going to be buying one, you might as well get the one that's hard to get, right? The Soul Scar Mage, same story. Dryad the Illusian, even though he was the most expensive card inside the non-foil version, he's actually only in the middle ground inside the foil version here because, that's like I said, the stupid freaking set boosters and the collector boosters drive these prices down so much of recent sets. So things that are much older without the collector boosters tend to be worth a little bit less. Metallic Mimic still worth quite a bit because it was printed a few times, and Sakurai Tribeholder still worth a lot because it's a very common card that's used. So instead of getting the really common one, you get the foil version, which is why it's 7 euros, bringing us up to 63 euros and 80 cents of an investment of 45 euros or 44 euros and 99 cents. Isn't that amazing? Bet you guys weren't expecting that. Moving on. Top 4. All right. What you guys think is the top 4? It's the Artist Series Mark Pole foil. What? Really? Mark Pole was so far down. Not really great, but like, let's take a look. Why is he worth so much money? So the Wasteland is worth 43 euros, alternate artwork, and 43 euros for the foil. I really gotta change the naming of these. Yeah, work it on next time. So there you go. Foil lands are worth a lot of money. Go figure. Birds of Paradise, 24 euros. Amazing staple card. People want foil versions of them. 24 euros. Altar Balance, 5 euros 50 cents. Hulling Mind, 5 euros. Counter spells at euro 50, and 15 cents for the Brainstorm. Like I said, these are just the kind of cheaper versions of it. Brainstorm also had like a box topper version inside what was it, Double Masters? That one's worth quite a bit. And I have to tell you guys now, combined all together, it's 79 euros and 15 cents out of a price tag of 44 euros 99 cents if you guys want the foil version. Granted, these aren't exactly the foil versions of the cards that are worth this much money, so take it with a grain of salt. But if you guys do want foil versions of it, this is a pretty nice one to have if you guys can't afford the singles altogether, which is actually the inverse of what happened earlier in the list. So, moving on. Top 3. What do you guys think the top 3 are? Well, I'm very surprised at this, but the Phyrexians came in third. Yes, that's right. 2 things actually outclass Phyrexians, and it's so surprising. Same difference here. 43 euros for a foil Vorinclex, 35 euros for a Jin, 23 euros for Elish Norn, Sheoldred is 20 euros, and 12 euros 75 cents for the Urabashk, bringing us up to 132 euros and 75 cents out of an investment of 45 euros. Here's the thing. These artworks are the exact same as the ones you're going to get inside the Phyrexian secret lair. The only difference is that we have cooler writing. So I argue that this is actually much better than the other ones. If you ever want to get the normal foil versions, they will cost a lot. But I think that this is I definitely think that the Phyrexian artwork is going to be worth quite a bit, depending on how many people buy it. Now, I will say, if like thousands of people buy it, it probably won't be worth as much as the actual foil versions of the normal cards. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think people are going to sleep on this because they don't like Secret Lair, they don't know about it, or things like that. And it's going to increase in price over time. If you guys can afford it, I say get both the foil versions of the Phyrexians and the non-foil versions as well. Because one to use, one to keep, so you can sell it later. Or just, instead of buying all of the other ones, just buy 10 of these. This is by far one of the better ones to have. Plus, it comes with the code card as well, don't forget that. Although I think if you buy both the foil and non-foil, you still only get one code card. I have to double check that. Or someone could correct me online later on in the comments below. But top two, guys, top two. Top two is the, coming in second place is the Mother of Ruins. What? Why? Why? Also, my chart's kind of busted, but whatever. Mother of Ruins, foil. 35 euros a piece. There's 4 Mother of Ruins inside the Mother of Ruins Secret Lair, bringing us up to 140 euros. So we make quite a bit. We made like almost $100 in profit here. But I have to tell you guys, it's not the one that's worth 35 euro. It's the one that's going to be divided by 4 into 45, is my opinion. It does look good. I'm not going to lie. I do think that if you guys want a playset of the Mother of Ruins foil version, definitely get the Secret Lair. Much better value. If you guys are very keen on the old artwork, go ahead. But if all you wanted was a Mother of foil, this is by far the cheapest way to get it. It has a timeless ability that I don't see being outclassed relatively soon. There is also the Giver of Ruins, which I can remember it was inside Modern Horizon 1. That's okay. Not as good as Mother of Ruins because it can't target itself. But pretty decent in other ways. And if you guys are all sagacious viewers, you would notice that the first one that wins as most value for money is the special guest, Genbartlett foil. What? Why? I'll tell you why. It's because a foil bloom tender from the original set costs 230 euros. There's only one version, as I can find, of the bloom tender. It's so expensive, and it's such a troll because, like, it skewed my freaking chart. Look at that shit. Look at that. It costs 44 euros 99 cents, and you get a bloom tender that's foil, and it's 230 bucks. You get the original version. Remember, guys, the one you're getting is not the artwork that's worth 230 euros. It's a different one that's foil. But it's just interesting to know that freaking bloom tender fucking screws our results to the top. Oh, what was this? But you guys weren't expecting that, now were you? But yeah, that will bring our video to the kind of like the small standstill, or the end, as I like to say it. However, I will say my personal opinions now, after we looked all through all of them. It was nice looking at all the data, but here's my personal opinions on some of them. The Signets, I believe, are going to be like the lands. As I said, they're going to be worth money in the future because people are still going to want them for certain decks and archetypes. That one's be nice to have. The Mother Days one, if you don't, I'm not too sure if you're a commander player that you're going to want it because one copy is more than enough. But if you guys play something like Modern where things are illegal and you can have 4 copies of it, definitely go for that. The Phyrexians, by far, you should get these. I don't care. If you play the game, get it. It's a good investment as well. It's going to be worth money in the future. And the Phyrexian Complete Edition foil definitely as well. But yeah, that is our video for today, everyone. I hope you guys like this whole brand new kind of video format that I'm trying to do. And I know that some of the charts don't look great. Some of them still could use a lot of work. But yeah, I'm just improving on some of the code that I've been like dossing up or cooking up. So hopefully in the future it will look a lot better and less cluttered. And hopefully I can fix it through the magic of editing. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And consider subscribing for more videos like this and comment down below what your favorite secret lair is. Thanks for watching, everyone.